Let's use curiosity as our compass as we navigate the road to the future, embracing a fully connected, intelligent world. Furthermore, smart sensing is deployed throughout schools, helping educators to better understand and guide students. Personalized education allows students to learn according to their interests, maximizing their talent and potential. AI-aided self-service O&M improves administrative management and teaching efficiency, making campus life more convenient. Ubiquitous connectivity, resource sharing anytime and anywhere, and refined campus management are orienting education toward the future by promoting the digital transformation of education. Huawei is committed to building a fully connected, intelligent world. Together, let's use ICT to stimulate educational innovation and harness the power of intelligence.
What comes to your mind when you think about customs? Do you envision a window to the world? That's the way it is and has been since the year 136 CE, when the first tariff system was established in Palmyra, Syria. Fast forward to the globalized world today, and customs has become a vital source of government revenue worldwide, while taking on even more roles and responsibilities. However, more than half of the world's nations have an aging customs system, and over 60% are plagued with low clearance efficiency. Meanwhile, pressing issues such as smuggling and unconnected networks need to be addressed, presenting us with unprecedented challenges, but also opportunities. With this in mind, Huawei is imagining the endless possibilities and exploring how innovative ICT technologies, such as AI and cloud, can digitally transform the customs industry. For with technology, the window to the world will swing open.
Ladies and gentlemen, our distinguished guests, welcome to the live broadcast of the largest global and regional event, Huawei Northern Africa Industry Digital Transformation Summit 2021. I am Khulud Zahran, will be with you today on the third day and a new event, Northern Africa Government Digital Transformation Summit. But first of all, you are all welcome to this event that Huawei offers to all its customers, partners, and also those who are interested in industry, digital transformation, and ICT. Let's start our program by welcoming Mr. Bruce Ming, Vice President of Enterprises Business Group of Huawei Northern Africa, who will give the opening speech for this event. Mr. Bruce Ming, President of Vertical Solution, who has worked for Huawei over 13 years and has a great experience in the government industries market. And he helped many government sectors to achieve digital transformation successfully. So please.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Bruce Meng, Vice President of Huawei Northern Africa Enterprise Business Group. Welcome to Huawei Northern Africa Industrial Digital Transformation Conference 2021. First of all, on behalf of Huawei, I would like to express my sincere thanks to all the guests who attend the summit today. I hope you and your family are healthy since we are going through a very difficult year with all kinds of challenges. We convene at a time when the countries are still grappling with the COVID-19. The impacts on human health and well-being livelihoods, and economic activities have been truly painful. However, challenges and opportunities always come together. The pandemic has accelerated digitalization, which is transforming the way we communicate, work, learn, and live. Together with you, Huawei will keep searching for emerging new and incredible opportunities out of the crisis, so that we can bring more new value to enable your digital transformation. During the epidemic, governments in Northern Africa have used the digital solutions to provide better services to governments and people. For example, in Ethiopia and Algeria, Huawei helped government departments build a video conferencing system to provide real-time online communication. In Morocco and Tunisia, Huawei provides hospitals with AI CT diagnosis solutions, improving diagnosis efficiency by more than 6 times. These are just some examples of digital transformation. More and more governments in the region are aware of the importance of ICT to national social stability and economic development, and have issued national ICT development strategies, such as Digital Morocco 2025 and Digital Ethiopia 2025. Digital transformation projects in various industries have been implemented. Reform in areas including customs, taxation, education, and healthcare are needed to promote economic recovery and provide better services to the population. To conclude, digital transformation is based on the services. It's deeply involved in scenarios and continuously create new value in continuous operations. Industry digitalization is a collection of scenarios digitalization, and the intelligent world is a good place for the success of digitalization in thousands of the industries. Together with the ecosystem partners, Huawei is committed to integrating ICT technologies into business scenarios to help customers to achieve their dreams. As long as we work together to continuously innovate digitally, make organizations more resilient, and make society more inclusive, and the world will continue to move forward. Finally, let me express my sincere thanks to you that you chose Huawei to be your digital transformation partner. Thank you again for joining us, and wish all of you good health. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bruce. With this global pandemic, the digital transformation of governments is no longer an option. We already have many new challenges that require change and keep pace with development. And some governments have succeeded in changing themselves to stay relevant for their people and their businesses. So let's welcome Mr. Pierre Perron, one of Huawei's government industries experts, to share some global experiences and suggestions in this digital transformation of governments.
Hello, my name is Pierre Perron, and I'm a global government digital transformation expert. Many countries were not prepared to face COVID-19. Those, however, who had begun a digital transformation found themselves in a better position to face these new threats. Of course, there were many challenges that were a lot more difficult to face. Countries such as China, who are way ahead of the game in transformation, were able to navigate a lot easier through the pandemic. My country, Canada, my country of birth, through Digital Canada 150, also found themselves in a better position to face some of these challenges. We were able to have the employees work from home, kids studying from school, so a lot easier as you move through the pandemic. So as you develop your transformation, you need to be able to establish your goals. What are we trying to achieve? Do we want a command center for the decision makers? Do we want to build an e-government capabilities to offer more services online to enhance our operations? Are we looking to manage traffic real problem in many countries, cities around the world? Are we looking to implement a digital tax system that will allow better collaboration, better communication between businesses, government, and citizens? Are we looking to simplify our customs process to allow the movement of goods to be easier? Are we looking to implement hybrid models for smart education? Are we looking to implement a better healthcare system that allows people who have difficulty to meet doctors or specialists and have access to them through this transformation? Or is it a mixed goals of all these elements into one large national strategy? The foundations, of course, you need to develop. What are we trying to do? Are we trying to improve competitiveness? Are we trying to increase productivity, connecting people and people, collecting people and things, and of course through the Internet of Things, collecting the various sensors you have deployed that are available to you to collect data to make better decisions, offer better service to your citizens, or perhaps make better policy decisions. So of course from your foundation, from the ICT foundations, your computing power, of course, is very important. Your infrastructure from the broadband internet network perspective is extremely important. What sensors do you need? What sensors do you have? And of course, from a big data, you collect all that information. You need to be able to make sense of it. Major changes during and post COVID-19, of course, trade divide. So of course, many more countries seem to be very protectionist of their economy, certainly of their supply. So is it a problem that will be for the long term? Are we looking at it from a very temporary basis? It's really hard to predict. Changing face of crime, more and more crime online. Government needs to be in a better position to mitigate these threats. Frauds online. Right now we see vaccines scheduling being offered to citizens by organized crime for a cost. Well, we know government will not be charging for their citizens, but again, some senior citizens are being defrauded by these individuals. Pandemic, of course, COVID-19 is one. We see the variants of many of the virus. So are we going through a new pandemic? Will we be facing other pandemics in the future? Of course, if you have a strong, robust digital transformation, you will be able to face this a lot easier. Rise of the people, of course, citizens are a lot more demanding of their governments, of their countries, media as well. So there's a lot more scrutiny being done. Are we, through digital transformation, be able to be more transparent and certainly more in tune to the needs of the people? Driving forces, I named a few here. So you need to take in consideration what are the factors driving the need for your transformation. Budget deficits, it will be a real issue in 2021 given the amount of investment done by countries to mitigate the pandemic. Identify your threats and challenges. That it be crime, that it be traffic. Identify them. What are we trying to mitigate? Advancement of technology, it's moving really, really quickly. So therefore, you want to be able to use platforms that will allow you to seamlessly move into a higher innovation perspective and use more cutting-edge technology as they become available. From a higher citizen expectation, we covered that. So you want to be able to really develop processes that will really make their lives easier. So as you look through these different driving forces, identify them. As you collect them, your strategy will start to make sense. Social, economic, and wider impacts. There will be some positive, obviously, from the pandemic. E-commerce has seen a really high level. Companies like Amazon obviously benefited greatly from the pandemic through online shopping and certainly online delivery. Cashless society, this seems to be a move to use less hard currency to more digital exchange, automation, end-to-end supply chains. Of course, you're looking at it. Countries now seem to be able to build their own capabilities in that regard. So as you identify the positive that you can use for your digital transformation, non-essential office spaces, of course, there's a bit of change of thinking in that regard. I know that I saw last week HSBC in the UK has decided to cut 40% of its real estate to allow employees to permanently work from home, or at least temporary work from home on a part-time basis, therefore reducing their cost of operation while not really impacting on the services offered. Social, economic, and negative impact. Of course, there's a lot higher unemployment, so governments are struggling with that aspect. We see a bit of improvement right now, but is it going to be permanent, or is it going to have a longer impact than anticipated? How do we use that information to move our transformation? Social unrest, it's all tied into governments being scrutinized by the population, by the media. There's a lot more accountability required. Illegal immigration, again, many countries are changing their policies to make it a little bit more difficult for people to immigrate. Therefore, there may be pressures on countries where illegal immigration travels through to be more forceful or helpful for those the government. Robbery and theft, crimes will continue. Online scams, counterfeit goods, obviously important to take in consideration in your supply chain. So again, digital transformation can help you in that regard. Other mid to long-term challenges, of course, as you move through a transformation, you may need to think of a training vehicle to retrain your workforce, allow them to use this new capability. There's a tendency right now, or at least a school of thought, on having smaller cities as opposed to big, large urban cities. COVID-19 certainly demonstrated that large cities with a lot of people, the transmission of the virus was a lot more easier done than in small rural settings. Business continuity management, you want to make sure that you keep that in consideration as you build your capability. Essential services, of course, you want to make sure that they are also well served by your transformation. Sovereign cloud, your data, if your law requires it, you may need to consider sovereign cloud so that your data stays within your country, but also is more secure within your legislation. Wide range of applications. As I mentioned, as you build a national digital transformation, it can involve multitude of agencies that can work together, share information, of course, within your laws, to apply this transformation. So it'd be from a border protection, e-government, transport, major events, crisis management. All these agencies, all these departments can actually work and use the information to do their mandate. Involving the public sector's governance and operation, there's a need to ensure government business continuity. So, ensure that your public servants are safe. There's a decentralization of operations, trying to push down the information to a lower level in order to really enhance the efficiency and the speed of services. The ability to work from anywhere, I think that's not going to change for the short term. Innovation between public and private industry, so working together to advance some digital transformation. For example, can you work with an operator in order to provide a smart city capability to a city based on having them work with you to implement that process? So that is done. We've done it many places around the world. Secure information exchange, of course, you need to ensure that the information that's being transmitted is protected, secured, according to your legislation and certainly the requirements. In a government data-wide strategy, you need to look at it from how can we use that data? How can it be? Can we allow to do so within our mandates? The transformation. So you're looking at it, improving efficiency of current services. Are you looking to implement new services? Are you looking to enhance the mission by developing and implementing new capabilities? Of course, there are many examples around the world that you can be inspired by that can really help you formulate your end state. As you do your transformation, you need to consideration, can you digitalize most element? The connectivity I mentioned is very, very important. How can we go online and offer services online? The cost reduction, obviously, there will be, if well defined, there should be a reduction of cost when you implement, or certainly implement your strategy. And of course, return on investment. You want to be able to define what will change once we go through a transformation. If nothing has changed, then you really have not done a very good digital transformation. So you need to define your mission. You need to define the organization, the goals, who's going to be part of it. You need to define a governance model, who's accountable. You need to define the processes, so how this all work as you go through it. And of course, the skill set. So the employees, the people, the partners that will help you through this transformation, do they have the proper training, the proper skill to move forward your transformation? Of course, as you're looking at it, you're trying to connect people, objects, locations, events, and organization. If you can connect all that data and make use of it, your transformation will make a lot more sense. So from an operational capability, sensing. So it starts with sensing. So that are, cameras, your inventory scanners, your various sensors. So how do you use that data, collect that data to be able to make sense? Communication, of course, very crucial in public safety, but again, in the city operation, also very important. You want to be able to communicate between the command center, the operations, through people on the ground to be able to replace, for example, a manhole cover that has been tampered with. You want to do this relatively quickly, so communication is important. Collaboration, as I mentioned, working together, multiple agencies, to be able to seamlessly go through the transformation. Citizens already think that all agencies are working together. Sense making, so as you collect all that data, you need to make sense of it. You need to be able to have the analytical capabilities to really be able to use that data so that you can make decisions. Make the decisions that are in real time, or as close to real time as possible, either to respond to an issue or really to develop new policies. Critical success factors of a transformation, of course, you need to do everything through laws and regulations. So everything you do must be done in accordance with your laws. An example, sensitive subjects such as facial recognition, many countries' laws do not allow that technology to be used. So the country has a choice to looking at it of changing the law or simply not including it in their transformation. So that's a government decisions. Governance and structure, of course, you need to define that governance, that structure, the accountability process that will be used to go through your transformation. Privacy and cybersecurity. So from a privacy, citizens already expect that government will protect their data. So how do we make sure that the data we collect from them is used for the purpose it was intended? It's very, very, very important. Cybersecurity, they also expect that the data will be protected and that the government data is secure and safe to be used. Operating model, you want to build your operating model to see how all these things will work at the end. So developing the processes to go through that transformation. From a technology perspective, you need your devices. So public safety will be different than city operation, of course, will be different from smart education. So define the tools you will need to implement your transformation, of course, when your architecture and infrastructure is built. Connectivity, you need to have you need to be connected. So are you working with an operator? Are you implementing your own connectivity system? that is part of your transformation to take that in consideration. The computing power, of course, you need the strength to be able to process that data and use that data for the purpose that you have defined. From a storage perspective, of course, you need to explore maybe your own data center or the cloud, and I will be talking the benefits of the cloud in a few seconds. How do we use that technology to develop really the public sector solutions that will be cutting edge, that will be an envy of the world, and also will satisfy the huge expectations of your citizens and employees. Now, from the cloud, many agencies are very, very nervous about the cloud, but there are huge benefits to your own private cloud from a public sector perspective. Surge in demand. Should you need more space, less space, you can scale it really, really easy. Maximize resources. It's a lot easier to integrate data into cloud than from legacy systems or into your own centers. A lot easier to secure data from the cloud. Obviously, huge cloud operators have the responsibility to protect your data, therefore need to invest in securing the data. The information sharing, obviously, you can access the information from anywhere, therefore it's a lot easier to share and control who has access to your data. High availability, important for government that the data is available when it's needed. So cloud certainly brings that certainty of availability. So as you're looking from an investment perspective, it's also a lot easier to operate through the OPEX model and the CAPEX model as you build your transformation. So investing operationally will make it a lot easier. So there's a lot of elements that the cloud bring benefits for your transformation. Business continuity management is important in government. Obviously, cloud availability, data availability is huge on your transformation change. Therefore, take that into consideration. Huawei has a large digital government presence around the world. We've had many projects in more than 40 countries and more than 120 cities. I'm part of the global teams of experts that can be put in contact with you to discuss digital transformation if you need it. So please contact your local Huawei office and they will arrange a discussion with you so we can actually guide you and really address some of the concerns you may have as you move forward to your transformation. I thank you very much and enjoy the rest of your day.
As we know, Huawei is the leading provider of ICT infrastructure and industry solutions. In government industry, Huawei cooperates with the partners to provide diversified solutions, example, smart city, smart government, and also smart customs, taxes, smart educational, many other government sectors. Let's welcome Mr. Edwin, Chief Digital Transformation Officer in Huawei Enterprise Business Group, to introduce Huawei's multi-scenario solutions for smart government digital transformation in GF Exhibition Hall. Also warm welcome each customer and partner to visit the exhibition hall.
The Global Government Business Department has two things that are unique to them. First of all, of course, we have a strong presence in this J5 Experience Center. I think almost a quarter of this whole floor is dedicated actually to digital government and public services, digital governance and public services. The other thing that the Global Government Business Department also has is a tremendous amount of knowledge, not only from our customers and from our partners, but also from our team members and the experience within our team members, the brain power, so to speak. So thought leadership. There is a tremendous amount of brain power that sits behind our systems and services. So the first step, if we bring customers, if we bring your customers and your partners to this area of our experience center, is about sharing that knowledge and experience in the domain of thought leadership. So applying thought leadership, bringing digital to the entire organizational processes that sits around public services and governance. So as we talk through, we'd like to explain that there is a trend in digitalization towards public services and governance. The online, offline transition started in the 50s when computing came in, moving towards new management models in public services in the 90s, towards a digital governance model somewhere along the lines of the early 2000s and onwards. And then where we are right now, which is where public services and digital governance are fully at play. And this transitional process is exactly where not only we are, but also where we are able to accelerate and drive that journey. With systems and services, for example, that can carry that. Or with solutions that already are in place and don't need to be uplifted, forklift upgraded, need to be migrated, but can be integrated and coexist after and one another, instead of replacing, for example. So public services and governance comes with new dimensions. Government and security, medical care, economics, the environment, traffic, these are domains traditionally tailored to public services. But digital connectivity, spatial entities, intelligence of data, shortening time, and using knowledge and awareness as a data set for cognitive attention really creates a technology stack that drives towards digitized public services. So public services and governance truly are at a new dimension right now. That means that you, your partner, your customer, and we as a whole, almost as a mini ecosystem together, are able to drive this even further. So that's why we are starting with these information sharing when customers visit J5, before we move to example smart education, e-techs, customs, what carries the digital foundation, or even a command control center, for example. We have to set the stage. We have to come to a mutual understanding, and that's why we start here. Focus on public service and digital governance. So how are new categories governed? Governance and operations go from centralized to collaborative, and services and experience go from functional to individual or user-centric experienced. And this integration drives a dual governance and service convergence, so to speak. Almost two domains that come together and work as one. And that brings me to the capabilities of the new era, the digital era for governance and the digital era for public services. Digital capabilities are circling around 5 dimensions: strategy, governance, data intelligence, intelligent technologies, and digitalized services. These 5 dimensions cater to digital capabilities, and they are fused from leadership that is capable and able to transform, but most importantly, that creates a sharpness, an element of cunningness, if you like, to the digital mindset. And last but not least, an end-to-end, almost from the ground up, thinking of the core, digital at the core. And that brings me to a converged digital infrastructure that drives it. The reason we're saying it like this is because later we need to talk about the digital foundation. This is where our delivery comes in. Because in the end, we also like to sell, we like to deliver, right? So this is also to create the understanding for later, when we pass along different industries and end at the digital foundation. Because the moment we're able to talk to our customers and your partners about laying the foundation for digital services, creating the digital foundation, we are at the level of delivering. What do you deliver? Server, storage, baseline. It is an engine that drives transformation, and it circles around 2 gears. Again, service and experience, and governance and operations. And these gears in one engine are driving big data analytics, are infused with AI, support IoT, blockchain enabling, and this will open the door to the last stage after we move from traffic management, command control room, education, e-techs, customs, all the way to the digital foundation. As I said before, we have to share our knowledge. We have to be on the same page. We have to create mutual understanding. That's what we do here, because when we are in agreement, surely everybody will also agree at the end that the digital foundation is where we have to start, and that is delivery. ITS or ITM intelligent traffic management or intelligent traffic system. In public services, and specifically the digitalization of governance, we see a tremendous uptake from offline to online, and from analog and physical to digital. Imagine crossroads, or imagine daily crossroads, cars going back and forth, uncontrollable basically. Some cities have traffic lights. These traffic lights are 100 meter, 200 meter or 500 meters apart, and sometimes these are digitally connected. Sometimes there's a time interval between them. So if you hit the first traffic light green at 50 kilometers an hour and you maintain your speed, there's a green wave, if you like, that all the traffic lights after that will also turn green if you remain your speed. But sometimes that is impossible. Sometimes something happens. In an offline, non-digital world, it means someone has to manually change these intervals. Because maybe now the green wave is at 30 or 25 kilometers. Or maybe we need to stop this green wave. Because traffic light number 3 has a major accident. That's why traffic light number 1 and number 2 should maybe point you to the right or point you to the left. So in a digital environment, governance, how do we govern such a situation for public services related to international or intelligent traffic management with an intelligent traffic system? We do just that. We got a platform. This platform provides public services that can be digitalized and that govern the operations to change, for example, a time interval of the green light, or redirect the green light not to go straight, but to go left or to go right. And of course, some people don't see that all the time. They hit the red light, or the light says go right, but they go straight. So here's an example where camera technology is not only being used for speeding, is not only being used for example, whether someone stops at a red light and accelerates and moves forward at a green light, but maybe hits the red light, or maybe switches lanes too much, or switches lanes where it's not allowed to. So an intelligent traffic management system and an intelligent traffic system is integrating this, providing the digitalized policies for that, and of course can do something with traffic violation. It can actually arrange the penalty. And this booth area here in J5 allows us to not only explain this, but also allows us to talk customers through the process of how to go from what they have today to maybe what they might need or would like to have tomorrow, including cases. So the screen behind me is not only showing the management system, is not only showing the services that we provide, but it is also showing the process and the steps that our customers can take and where it already has been done. For example, in Shenzhen, we are here in Shenzhen. And in Shenzhen, many camera technologies combined and video analytics and image analytics systems combined provide the city of Shenzhen, for example, with also a very intelligent and a very proficient traffic management and traffic regulation system. That's what ITS does for this particular corner. So from intelligent traffic systems and intelligent traffic management, of course sometimes we have to escalate. Well, not we, the persons responsible for city management and daily operations in city management. For example, police, or traffic management authority, or a mayor, or a whole bunch of other people working together, looking at perhaps a screen like this, a GIS map. GIS is a geographical information system, but not only that, it's also geospatial. So GIS is geographical, it means it has a map, it can do mapping, but it also has a geospatial function. It means that it can understand and link and create a relationship between the different pieces of information or data points on a map. So contextual intelligence combined with location-based services. So GIS mapping, information sharing and visualizing. Just like before what we had in our J5 Experience Center, maybe you remember from a while ago when you were here with one of your customers, maybe 2 years ago. Remember the Safe City area where Command Center was next to the Intelligent Operations Center of Smart Cities? You probably remember that, right? So now we're blending that and we're merging that into one singular view and single environment. It is still computer-aided dispatching. It is still multi-channel intake. It is not just voice, it is also video intake. It is an application perhaps that has a voice or a video or a communication control function, an app. Maybe it's a sensor that sits in a canal and it understands that the water rises too fast and therefore needs to trigger an alarm. It goes into a system. In partnership with many partners, we're providing a computer-aided dispatching platform that takes these channels in, groups them, and brings them together in a logical overview and allows us to link to different agencies, groups within these agencies. So the video screen on the left top is where you can see how these different channels, fixed and mobile, but also different agencies, are able to be connected and grouped into one or in multiple groups. So one group for this, another group for that, and another group for something completely different, but still intuitively presented and very logically overviewed in a screen like this. An operations center, a command center. It allows us for command control functions. So on the lower part, left-hand corner on the lower part, you can clearly see that is where the communication input sits. The moment a dispatcher has dispatched information to a dispatch group, it becomes visible to the dispatcher itself, or maybe the team leader, or combined. And in that, and from that corner, they can see what is active, what is not active, what has been handled, what is handed over, what is urgent right now, what is perhaps important but not so urgent, but maybe later. And that's on the screen that you see here. So this is where the active cases and the active resources are part of. And then further to the right, which is my left, on the right-hand screen, that is where the analytics comes in, that is where dashboards are, where information from data analytics is being converted and turned and transformed into insights, and that allows a faster decision making, a more comprehensive set of information based upon where the decision is going to be based upon. But more importantly, it creates a knowledge base of data sets that we can reuse afterwards if we need to predict, or if we need to optimize, or if we need to move higher up the value chain with a wider set of data sets to create a faster and more deeper and more higher qualified response to decision making. So the command center, as you see here, computer-aided dispatching, multi-channel intake, including mobility, so ELTE is still part of what we do. I cannot show it to you right now because that's not from the screen behind me, that's more in the corner. We go there in a minute, but still computer-aided dispatching sits here. So if you have your customers or if you have your partners that have still an interest in this, physically perhaps it is not impossible, it's not possible to travel, but digitally you are able to invite your customers and you are able to bring them virtually to this hall where, in a similar communication as I have with you right now, I would be speaking to you and your customer, or to you, your customer and your partner. And we would be sharing information. We would be able to talk even. I would have an earpiece and we would have an open communication about the possibilities of, in this case, the command control area in our digital services for public services and governance in the digital government area of J5. Taxation and tax collection are one of the core drivers in government's economies. No tax income, no economy. The hassle that we experience as individuals when we do our tax returns at the end of the year, fiscal year, you can imagine is already a big trouble. But if you're a company, and if you need to add all these things up from different individuals, different items, and so on and so forth, then perhaps it gives you a bit of an idea that if we're able to digitalize pieces of the governance in this process, so in a public service like tax, for example, a digital tax solution, only the VAT invoices, so tax invoices, if we're able to digitalize that process like they did in Shanghai, it creates such an amount of efficiency in their daily operations and an increase in their productivity that within there, only within there, already exists so much value that you will have a very interesting and differentiated conversation with your customer when it comes to public services and digital governance. And where to start? Well, maybe start with taxation, digital tax solutions. If we look at e-invoice management, the time that it saves in an e-invoice overview when it comes to a process for it is 95% with a zero error rate if the algorithms are rightly in place and understand what kind of bars and what kind of boxes needs to be ticked in order for a taxation process to be approved or to be declined. That's manual work. That's human work. An algorithm can do that faster and more accurate. The same goes for paperless. It is 100% paperless. So no need to wait for a printout that has to be sent out, that has to be received, that has to be opened, approved, signed, and back, or in other forms. So a 100% paperless, zero error rate, thus a 95% time saving in an e-invoicing is a topic of discussion that you can have with your customer, which is what we'd like to engage in a discussion that we would like to have with your customer as well when they visit here in J5. The rest of the screen gives you a bit of an overview of how this is facilitated. So how is an e-invoice process initiated? So I will not go into much detail that, but we can show that when your customer arrives in this exhibition center. Another element sits with big data analytics. For example, as you see here on the left-hand side, the analysis of tax revenues, the analysis of risks, credit checks, for example, or assistance in decision-making. Maybe the risk is a little higher, but perhaps the value is also a little higher. Do we take the risk? How do we decide that, and upon what do we decide that? In a digitalized taxation environment, these are mechanisms able to be activated. Let's check the risk analysis part. So, where is the risk? How high is the risk? And so on and so forth are presented in an overview like this. Very intuitive. Algorithms, Pearson correlation coefficients, and so on and so forth, dashboards if you like, and a decision-making assistant will help a taxation department, based on real-time data analytics, for example, to show what is the return of tax status, what is the units in $1 million, what is the status of the refunds, where is the query for tax reporting, and so on and so forth. So basically, a very comprehensive set of a digital solution for taxation. From taxation to customs and trade. Also, that is a very physical process, non-digital. This is where port authorities are sitting. This is where border control sits. This is where trucks, container ships, goods, people, supply are either going through and out of the country or going through and coming into the country. So if this is a process that can be automated as well, if we can provide public services and digitalized governance for customs and trade, we're on the right path of digital transformation for public services and governance as well. So here is an example where smart customs are supported not only with an operations center, so to monitor and control the daily operations and the services, but also very deeply within its services. For example, a digital way to check goods and supplies that are in trucks. Maybe because it is packed in such a way, it is checked and controlled in such a way prior to shipment that when it's closed and it's sealed, upon arrival, only paperwork and QR codes can be checked. So let's have a look on how intelligent logistics and inspection would work via a customs monitoring command center. Like we see here, a customs monitoring and command center are looking into port areas, they are looking into the arrival of cargo, and they are looking into how, where, and in what way elements are being shipped, are being offloaded, are being transited, and are being transported onwards. Electronic tagging, GPS services already are available, but not integrated yet. So part of digital transformation is also a services transformation, maybe even a services integration, because all these different services and all these different pieces of information create a holistic view and therefore support an optimization in the process of customs, in this case intelligent logistics. I will not run through all these scenarios one by one, because when we are here with your customer, we can show that in more detail. So let's go back to, for example, an individual form of inspection. So we had intelligent inspection and logistics from goods and cars and lorries, but here is where it comes individual. So this is where people are coming in with goods, maybe in a personal car or by hand or by cart. And this is where port or customs and border authority can really look into and have access to information that relates to goods and services that people are carrying. Similar to traffic management, integration of services, similar to city management or policing. This is border control. Individual inspection from different services. In case of COVID, individual inspection now becomes a little risky, of course. So even if there is an application of countermeasures and precaution in virus protection, for example, and cross individual spreading of all these kind of viruses, then you can imagine how a digitalized environment for personalized inspection can also come at play. I need to go back one, and I need to go back one more. Let's go to home. Here we are. And last but not least, I'd like to show you how luggage inspection takes place. Cruise arrival, baggage that sorts into a transfer system, centralized graph analyze system, and so on and so forth. So different services, different systems working together as one to create a smarter customs environment. So digital transformation in public services and digital governance, the digitalization of governance, also applies to customs. So again, on this floor, J5, for digital governance and public services, where are we able to engage in a conversation with your customer, what to do and what to do first? Taxation might very well be one. Information sharing and knowledge handoff, so the new form of education might be another. Customs might just as well be an interesting touch point. Your customers and your partners are more than welcome here in J5, and we're able to guide them through, engage in a discussion, and open the door for you in a follow-up as they leave this room either virtually or physically and are thinking of their next steps.
Tax is one of the most important government sectors around the world, and today tax administrations are still face a range of challenges, from low supervision efficiency to overly complex taxpayer services and weak decision-making capabilities. Let's give a warm welcome to Mr. Wang Xiang, a senior consultant in the field of government digital transformation, and he is currently the chief solution expert for tax and customs administration at Huawei. With his extensive experience and deep understanding of the tax administration business, he works closely with clients in the tax department and other government agencies to better understand their challenges, identify new trends in the industry, identify their needs, and design solutions accordingly.
Revenue authorities are facing new problems every day. Tax administrations throughout the world are operating in varied environments. However, they are all driven by common challenges that are shaping their domestic and global agendas. Our response must be based on the use of new technologies. New technologies are making very rapid transformation of the digital economy, changing business models, tax bases, and economic activities. We see emergence of the use of blockchain, artificial intelligence, and the growth of cryptocurrencies and sharing economy. These changes will impact which taxes should be collected and the way they can be collected. Transformation is required for tax administration. Otherwise, there might be issues in terms of collecting taxes. On the other hand, use of new technologies can help improving taxpayer services and therefore ensuring compliance. Tax administration are now using new technologies in order to help taxpayers to comply with the tax laws, and it's very important that revenue authorities should work together with taxpayers to make sure that the rules can be effectively applied. Taxpayer service is a key of the tax administration. The quality of taxpayer service is one of the most important indicators of the tax reform. More and more revenue authorities have made online taxpayer service a major goal of the digital transformation. They simplify the tax processes and build online systems to to enable taxpayers to handle their tax business on laptops or mobile phones. The taxpayer services have been gradually upgraded from 8 counter services to 24/7 online services, from one-stop all-in-one to anytime and anywhere business. This upgrade involves not only taxpayer services, but also the network connectivity and the tax data management. Building a data-driven and intelligence-led tax environment has become a consensus among the revenue authorities. Therefore, we see many of them have built data governance framework and capabilities. Digital transformation opens the door of many opportunities within tax. The use of new technologies are helping revenue authorities for their digital transformation. Cloud computing technology, for instance, more than 60% of revenue authorities consider building cloud-based ICT infrastructure. This will not only significantly reduce CapEx investment, but also enable more technological innovations with new technologies to enhance their back office operations and taxpayer services. Artificial intelligence and robotics are also used in revenue authorities for process automation and tax data analysis. Robotic process automation is a software. It's a tool that mimics human beings do. Many processes will be automated efficiently through robotics. Besides working much faster, it can be configured to work 24/7. We have one case that we use RPA to do routine work, such as cutting, paste, data entry, and classification, which reduce up to 60% of the workload. Artificial intelligence has the ability to automate the routine and allow tax professionals to focus on the critical missions. Meanwhile, we also see revenue authorities are increasingly using robotics and artificial intelligence together with the big data-based prediction models to do the advanced analytics that allow them to have better visibility over the trends and risks, utilizing the historical patterns and information to suggest the tax professionals. 5G is a software-defined network. It means it won't replace cables entirely. It could replace the need of them by largely operations on the cloud instead. This means it will have 100 times better capacity than 4G, which will dramatically improve internet speeds. For example, to download a 2-hour film on 3G would take about 26 hours. On 4G, you'll be waiting for 6 minutes, and on 5G, you'll be ready to watch your film in just 3.5 seconds. But it's not just the internet capacity that will be upgraded. The response time will also be much faster. The 4G network responds to our commands in just under 50 milliseconds. With 5G, it will take around 1 millisecond, 400 times faster than a blink of the eye. 5G will also provide a much more personalized web experience using a technique called network slicing that will allow users to create their own bespoke network. Being able to personalize internet will also benefit the tax administration. It may not come overnight, but 5G is coming. The revenue authority's user base is changing. When all taxpayers, both corporate and individual taxpayers, need to access to the tax services, this means that more than half of the citizens of a country are the users of the system. Revenue authorities must pay more attention to the way that how taxpayers access the tax services. The internal connections among the tax offices may support the back office operations well, but they are not enough for taxpayers. The accessibility from taxpayers to the services become more and more important, and the revenue authorities need to build not only a powerful internal network, but also a stable and secure internet connection to all its resources. Revenue authorities are demanding unprecedented amounts of data from taxpayers that includes information directly from taxpayers and indirectly from other systems. This data is not only the entries of return forms, it's also all the details of the transaction data and behavior data, interchange data, and the credit data. This data will be used for tax analysis by regions and industries to indicate the national economy of the country, as well as transaction network and the product structure analysis of the country. Besides, revenue authorities are performing increasingly sophisticated analytics on data to find compliance risk. Data can really improve the analysis of taxpayers' risk. For instance, the revenue authority in China are now comparing the power consumption of companies with similar conditions to detect risks of company. Companies who consume electricity over the average cost will be reviewed. The tax big data analysis also supports on decision makings of tax law and policy changes. Decisions are primarily taken based on the information derived from the data. With big data-based prediction models, policymakers should be able to simulate the impact of the policy change and make decisions accordingly. Blockchain is a potential technology that can easily improve the government services and foster fair and transparent citizen rights. We see that blockchain has been widely used in many tax administrations. For example, the electronic invoice management system is using blockchain as an infrastructure for the sharing of transaction data and facilitating the collaborative processes of accounting, tax, and business. The solution builds nodes among relevant companies and the revenue authorities and use a hybrid ledger to manage the whole life cycle of an invoice from the transaction happens until it will be archived. The use of blockchain technology is building a trust among the stakeholders based on the transaction, which not only benefits the revenue authority for its tax collection, but also taxpayers for their finance and supply chain management. Most importantly, it's paperless and structured data. Huawei utilized the one cloud, one lake, one platform architecture to help revenue authorities innovate their services and create business value. The one cloud, one lake, one platform architecture based on Huawei IT infrastructure aims to help customers accelerate system integrations and information sharing. One cloud refers a converged cloud infrastructure. One lake refers a data lake, which provides full lifecycle data processing capabilities, including data collection, storage, computing, management, and utilization. It allows revenue authorities to transform their data resources into data assets. One platform is a unified application enablement platform that integrates basic data services, general purpose middlewares, and components to enable service innovations. The hybrid cloud infrastructure is our recommendations to revenue authorities. It combines private cloud for internal operating systems and sensitive tax data storage, and the public access of the taxpayers to the tax services. According to our practice with one tax authority customer, the use of a hybrid cloud will save 30% of the total cost by average, and also shorten the time of tax service implementation by 30% as well. Cloud is a chain, and cloud has already come. The digital transformation is a set of transformations from business to technology. It transforms user experience of tax officials and taxpayers, as well as the culture of the tax operations. Huawei eTax solution portfolio provides comprehensive solution options for revenue authorities to achieve their digital tax administration. The solution contains the utilization of the new technologies such as 5G, artificial intelligence, big data, and cloud computing, and also the practice of our customers around the world. We are not only providing state-of-the-art products, but also consulting services to our customers for their digital transformation. We have professional experts who know about the product and also the business very well at over 170 countries to support our customers. We bring digital technologies to every revenue authority. Now it's time to define your future in a digital world. Thank you.
International trade is a key driver for economic growth and development. It raises living standards in both developed and developing countries, contributes to the reduction of poverty, as well as creates more stable, secure, and peaceful world. New developments that the world is going through now are driven by a combination of factors, including fast evolving ICT, advances in transportation methods, and trade liberalization. Now, let's give a warm welcome to Mr. Harrison Huang, Head of Solution Addis Information Technology. Mr. Huang has over 15 years large international program management experience, expertise in tax and customs modernization, consulting system, architecture consulting, and also digital transformation consulting.
Nowadays, digitalization is reshaping the whole industry, including the customs administrations. Today, as the leader in the digital technology and the customs modernization expert, I will bring you our stories, how to leverage AI to enhance our risk management product. You may see in the 21st century, for all the customers, everyone is trying to use the digital technology to improve the supply chain, to improve the compliance, to enhance the revenue collection. Everywhere we see the IoT technology is used to tracking the cargo. We are seeing the mobile technology is leveraged by all the customs to improve the inspection process, to improve the trader experience. We have also seen, especially in the big data area, we are leveraging the data to create more efficient and effective decision making for the customs. Getting data into the inside is still a big challenge. You may see a lot of data, but cannot be used. You may also have to migrate all the legacy data into the new data store to leverage the data expert to find insight from all this raw data, the data quality, the data collection, the data insight generation, all creating the challenges for using those data. But Atos, as the leading company in the data technology, we are providing our solutions in the customs domains to enable the customs to leverage all those digital technologies to enhance their capability and the effectiveness. Our architectures contains 3 systems and 2 platforms. You may see the original customer management systems, although we have already leveraged the microservice architecture to enhance the scalability and availability. You may also see the single window system, which also adapted by a lot of customs administration right now to enhance the trader experience and the trader facilitation process. Also, most importantly, we can leverage the AI to enhance the whole risk management system, which is also our endeavor to combine our digital technology and the customs data, not only the customs data, but also the taxation data, but also the supply chain data, every data where the governments can hold to improve the whole decision making in the risk management and the execution in the risk management domains. To support these 3 systems, we have 2 digital platforms to support such kind of capability. First is the tax and the customs business platform, which is architected in a microservice way. Can help to reuse the existing services and APIs to build new innovations in the flight. And the tax and the customs data platform. This platform is help to unify all the government's data into one standard data store, which can be leveraged to create the subject models such as taxpayer, trader, company, all these kind of algorithms such as the natural language processing, the image recognition. All these algorithms can be reused and leveraged by multiple systems, including the customs and the tax systems. With such architecture, which can help enable the customs to fast innovate in the near future for the new features, new functions, but also help to reduce the cost of introduce the new innovations. Look at this platform, which we provide building APIs to collect data from various data sources, including various data silos inside the revenue authority. You can also have a building integration for the IoT devices, which we may use for tracking the cargo. And also the other government agencies can help to ingest the data into the same platform to enable the customs officer or the revenue authority to see the full view of all the activities inside the whole organization. But also you can link to the social media and the other data stores, such as vehicle data, which can help the tax and the customs to enhance the evaluation process internally. The whole platform is building in the big data technologies. We can correlate all kinds of data with some reusable algorithm, finally to create unique data view, which can be consumed by tax assessments, risk assessments, the inspections, and all the other front-end applications. Imagine the commissioner can use his own mobile devices and having the real-time data for the revenue forecast at any time he wants. It helps shape the future customs administration efficiency. With this platform, we can ingest the manifest declaration, inventory, and all the other third-party data, including the images from the scanner, also maybe the document data from the ECM system. We have already built in some capabilities onto this platform, such as the image recognition, the OCR, the NLP, etc. By combining this capability, we can create multiple use cases on top of this platform. Right now, we have already tariff HS classifier use cases model already building on top of this platform. We can easily, with the goods description, we can identify which commodity code is matches to match your declaration, to identify whether you have misdeclared the goods or you deliberately try to evade the tax. Also, we already have the built-in model to recognize the container images. We can see whether the goods you declare in your declaration are matching the pictures we have from the scanner. We can identify the high-value goods are really declared accordingly. These use cases can very quickly build on top of this platform because all those technologies are already there. Besides these two existing models, we can also quickly to build use cases such as revenue forecast. We can create fancy customer dashboards to see various information from many parties, the banking, the traders, all these things we can see easily, very easily and very quickly. Also, we can create the 360 views for all the traders. You can see his history, his banking history, his declaration history, and we can create credit for these traders using the capability already inside this data platform. Also, in the pandemic world now, okay, we can also collect all this data. We can, once the country are open, you can also see the risks, whether you can allow the access for this passenger with the manifest clearance, all the data from the governments. You can quickly identify whether this passenger should be sent into the quarantine or not. All these innovations can be made very quickly on top of this data platform. This is the beauty of the platform. This is the capability. When you merge all the capability into one platform, then you can reuse this capability in the fly. Look at right now, okay, in our risk assessments engine, we already incorporated the data modeling like image recognition and the tariff classification into our model. Once the declaration is submitted, we will use the AI model to detect the probability of whether the mismatch between your image and your declarations. And we can use our selectivity engine. You can easily to write up a rule to trap those declarations and send to the inspection officer for the physical examination or the documentary check. So this is the current situation which we have already achieved in our risk assessments module. Not only for the risk assessments part, we also use AI capability to enhance our inspection processes. In the inspection area, the customs officer can have wearing the body camera or using the mobile devices to take the picture of the goods for the goods they are examining. At the same time, the surveillance camera can track all the container coming in and out from the inspection area. All this data can be collected and be cross-checked by our system to see whether the container have been really examined. At the same time, if the trader or the examination officer have abnormal behavior with the image recognition technology, we can identify the events and create the alert to the command center. All these things are enabled by the AI technology nowadays. Also, it's not the end. Risk management cycle will also include the final examination result. This result can help labeling the images or identify our AI model are effective or not. All these results you may see here coming into our rule engine with all the historical data. We create model, and with the model we can label the images and we can label the declarations. And after that, it routed to physical examination by a customs officer. Once the customs officer follow the inspection template, the checklist, they will mark the label is correct or not. If it's not correct, they will provide the commodity code as the result of their examination. This result can be feedback to our model using the machine learning technology we call the supervised learning, and it will help to improve our model automatically. And once you have more data, you have more inspections, then the probability and the prediction of our model will be improved at the same time. All these things can be achieved nowadays. It's not magic any longer. With our capabilities, Atos have a specialized capability in the data management domains. We have the data modelization toolkits, which help to address the challenges of collecting, cleansing, loading the data into the data platform. At the same time, we are investing in creating the AI models. Now we have already tariff HS analysis. We have the cargo route analysis. We have already the image recognition for the scanners. All these models are already predefined and pre-configured in our risk management model. At the same time, we are also helping our clients to create more innovations together. We have our own data intelligence community, which we are working with our clients, working with our experts globally to innovate more models in the near future. At the same time, the system is already integration ready. The risk management system can be plugged with our own customs administration software, but also it can integrate with other software such as Asikuda. At the same time, we're providing the API for easy integration with all different kinds of technology. We have no limitation in the infra. We also have the built-in ESPs, which can help to integrate with the other satellite systems like ERP or CRM, etc. Finally, Atos has a global R&D studio and AI labs. We are investing a lot of money every year to help our clients together to co-create a model all together, like the HS classification and the scanner image recognition. I mean, all these models we are created together with our clients, using our AI labs and the data experts globally to rapid experiment and prototype in such models and innovations. Hope you enjoy our AI risk management story today. Thanks for your time, and I wish I could bring you more story next time. Thank you.
Modern education becomes more personalized and adopts to hybrid models. Teaching and learning administration and scientific research are going digital, cloud-based, and also become more intelligent with the use of innovative ICT. It works to transform the education sector into a fully intelligent sector. Let's give a warm welcome to Mr. Zojan, President of Education and Healthcare Industry Sector, Government Industries in Department of Huawei. Zojan has been engaged in the ICT consulting and planning field for more than 20 years. He served Huawei as the country manager in multiple regions, including Europe, Central Asia, Africa, and CEE and Nordic Europe, taking charge of solution sales management. He led the planning and implementation of national major education and healthcare ICT projects in Turkey, Belarus, and Congo.
Good day to you, everyone. My name is Anthony Xu. I'm responsible for the education business development at Huawei. Now, coronavirus outbreak is becoming a worldwide crisis. People mostly are doing social distancing, and some of them are even suffering the city's lockdown. As a global company with a social responsibility, Huawei has been taking actions very rapidly to help the education authorities to rebuild the teaching and learning activities through ICT technologies. Today, I will share our education solutions, appearance, and perspectives. From the latest statistics of the UNESCO, there are 184 countries where fully or partially closed the school due to the pandemic. There are totally more than 1 billion learners who are affected, and this number is about 16.5% of the global learners. From UNESCO statistics in the past days and its forecast, the number of the infected learners is still increasing day by day. The curve here shows a typical tendency of how virus infect people gradually. This model is from WHO with protective measures. We separate the whole outbreak into two different periods. In the first period, most people are required to stay at home, but in the second period, people start to work and the kids are back to school. So in phase 1, we are focusing on the online learning because most of the students are at home. And in phase 2, we focus on learning in schools but with protective measures. So there are two different ways. One is cloud-based, the other one is on-premise. Regarding the cloud service, Huawei is offering public cloud servers with telecom partners or with its own infrastructure and operations. Globally, we have 18 cloud service loaders from our customers to build their cloud-based abilities. And we are pleased to help more customers achieve success through our cloud technology. During the outbreak period, a fast deployed online learning service is very important. Therefore, software as a service on the cloud is highly recommended. Huawei Public Cloud can offer various online learning systems from partners in SaaS model. In a typical online learning service, there are different roles such as teachers, students, principal, and administrator. The systems support various terminals including PC, laptop, tablet, and cell phone. The system includes whole learning process such as digital content creation, live online teaching and learning, online exam, and assessment. The cloud-based model is suitable for massive users who stay at home. Besides the cloud-based deployment model, online learning service can be deployed in on-premise model as well. Compared with the cloud-based model, on-premise model is more flexible and extendable for the education authority who would like to own the asset. Huawei also offers this solution named Live Virtual Classroom. The LVC system can be extended from home to classroom, library, and so on. And because it is locally deployed, LVC can bring customization and separate learning experience. Let's come to the recovery period when students get back to school. How can we guarantee continuous safety in campus? When students gradually return to school to attend classes, controlling people gathering is critical for epidemic prevention. There are 4 types of sports needed to pay attention in the schools: indoor and outdoor areas, entries and exits, campus perimeters and kitchens, canteens. At the entries and exits, body temperature measurement, facial recognition, and vehicle identification can effectively help to control the pandemic risks. At the indoor and outdoor areas of the campus, it's necessary to continue to control the gathering of the students. School gates and perimeter also need rigorous surveillance to prevent unauthorized access. The kitchen and the canteen are also crowded place in the school. It's important to keep the kitchen clean and the social distance among the students in canteen. Now let's take a look at the two cases. These two cases are about the quick deployment of the cloud-based solution with our partners. The first one is from the University of Shanghai for Science and Technology as well as Law USST. The USST was founded in 1906 and now has more than 24,000 full-time students. Cooperate with Huawei, the USST has deployed Huawei cloud service and applications which could collect health information of the students by apps running on cell phone. This is convenient for administrators manage and prevent from infection during COVID-19 crisis period. Another case is from Jakarta UMJ University in Indonesia. Since its deployment in February 2020, it has benefited 10,000 students and more than 300 teachers and won higher price from customers. After introduction of the specific solutions which are responsible to pandemic, let's see how Huawei developed in the education industry. We categorize the education solution into two layers, which are device, pipe, cloud data center, and apps. Vertically, there are three different applications such as smart teaching and researching, smart management, and smart decision. Huawei are focusing on the pipe and cloud data center and partially in the device layer. We also have working closely with partners to build an education ecosystem to help our customers. So far, Huawei smart education solutions have been implemented in more than 17 countries and regions around the world. There are more than 10 NREN customers, 2,500 universities and research institutions, half millions of primary and secondary schools. All experience our solutions and products. We are very honored to participate in this process of smart education construction. It's benefit to the development of nations and human beings. Education brings hope to people, and I believe that a bright future will come after this pandemic crisis. Let's work together to achieve it. Thank you very much and stay safe.
Huawei has a lot of successful cases regarding the digital transformation in government industry. Let's see one of those.
La Côte d'Ivoire est située en Afrique de l'Ouest. Elle a une des croissances économiques les plus rapides d'Afrique avec un taux annuel moyen de 8% jusqu'à 2020. Les enseignants du secteur éducatif ivoirien ont un niveau faible. La répartition des ressources allouées à ce secteur est inéquitable. Le développement de l'éducation régionale est déséquilibré et le nombre de bénéficiaires demeure encore faible, en particulier dans les zones rurales. En tant que ministère le plus important du pays, le ministère de l'Éducation a engagé une stratégie de développement pour l'amélioration de la vulgarisation de l'éducation de base, en réduisant le fossé entre les zones urbaines et les zones rurales, ainsi que par la promotion des jeunes talents à travers l'informatisation de l'éducation. Les objectifs généraux de l'informatisation du ministère de l'Éducation sont les suivants. Vulgariser l'éducation de base et augmenter le taux d'alphabétisation de la population. Promouvoir la rééducation des adultes et améliorer les compétences modernes. Raccourcir le fossé éducatif entre Abidjan et les zones urbaines et rurales intérieures. Améliorer l'intégration des informations pédagogiques à l'échelle nationale, construire un système d'éducation à l'information à l'échelle nationale. Pour mettre en œuvre la stratégie, le ministère de l'Éducation de la Côte d'Ivoire a lancé avec Huawei le projet Côte d'Ivoire e-éducation en 2019.
Avec Huawei, nous sommes en train de construire, de déployer, d'instaurer dans le système éducatif un ensemble de mécanismes. Une construction beaucoup plus solide, de sorte qu'à terme, nous allons avoir un système de plus performant. Ça va nous permettre non seulement de prolonger l'action pédagogique, mais aussi de mettre l'accent sur la gouvernance, à travers une communication des plus fluides, à travers un système de gestion des plus orthodoxes, et faire en sorte que notre éducation nationale soit les plus modernes.
Le projet vise à construire un système national e-éducation incluant une plateforme d'éducation en ligne, un enseignement interactif à distance, des communications unifiées, un réseau dédié à l'éducation couvrant 133 structures éducatives dans 10 villes à travers le pays.
Cet équipement vient à point nommé, vient s'adapter à l'ère, vient s'adapter à notre ère, à l'ère des enfants. Aujourd'hui, nous sommes au numérique et le numérique est un outil de la mondialisation. Aujourd'hui, nos élèves ont une sorte de bibliothèque en ligne où ils peuvent avoir tous les livres à leur portée, rien qu'en cliquant dans Google, etc. Donc, de leur ordinateur, ils peuvent avoir accès à des revues, ils peuvent avoir accès à des annales, ils peuvent avoir accès à des livres scientifiques, etc. etc. Et donc, le monde est au laboratoire, le monde est dans la salle informatique. Et je pense que pour nos enfants, c'est très important et nos enfants vont beaucoup aimer parce qu'ils sont portés aujourd'hui sur le numérique.
Le système e-éducation va populariser véritablement l'éducation locale de base, réduire le taux d'analphabétisation, améliorer la qualité de l'éducation locale et promouvoir la valorisation des talents en Côte d'Ivoire. La Côte d'Ivoire attache une grande importance au développement de l'éducation. En 2020, le président Ouattara a été réélu à l'élection présidentielle pour augmenter la qualité et l'efficacité de l'éducation et soutenir la mise en œuvre des stratégies de développement en cours dans les pays émergents.
Le gouvernement a élaboré un programme dénommé « L'école pour tous » qui constituera une de nos priorités pour l'année prochaine et les années à venir.
Le projet e-éducation de la Côte d'Ivoire, mené en collaboration avec Huawei, a aidé le pays à construire une plateforme d'enseignement numérique moderne et des facilités de communication, considérablement amélioré l'infrastructure TIC des écoles et des services de gestion de l'éducation en utilisant une infrastructure numérique puissante et des équipements abordables pour assurer la sécurité des enfants tout en continuant à enseigner. Les enseignants d'Abidjan peuvent échanger en temps réel avec d'autres écoles et élèves dans d'autres villes via des appareils numériques, ce qui atténue la répartition déséquilibrée des ressources éducatives.
Le ministère lui-même fait face à un problème crucial de manque d'enseignants, de personnel enseignant. Et je pense que j'ai expérimenté aujourd'hui, moi personnellement, un cours en direct dans 2 classes différentes. Cela veut dire que le ratio classe-professeur pourrait diminuer et faire en sorte que, on puisse résoudre à long terme ce crucial problème du déficit des enseignants.
Pour solutionner la problématique des terminaux multimédia dans les écoles, le système clou de bureaux et les terminaux TC sont déployés dans les salles de classe pour permettre aux élèves de se rapprocher du monde numérique et d'ouvrir une fenêtre sur le monde. L'introduction de la plateforme d'éducation en ligne e-learning facilite l'accès aux ressources éducatives en ligne pour les enseignants et les étudiants. Le déploiement des réseaux sans fil au campus donne aux enseignants et aux étudiants l'accès à Internet à tout moment et partout via des terminaux sans fil. Le déploiement de systèmes de communication multimédia tels que les boards électroniques, les téléphones IP et les clients logiciels mobiles améliore considérablement l'efficacité de la communication du service de gestion du système éducatif. Pour améliorer la sécurité de l'école et offrir un environnement d'apprentissage stable aux enseignants et aux étudiants en ligne, un système de vidéosurveillance est déployé dans l'école où se trouve le projet pour surveiller les environs du campus et les salles de classe multimédia en temps réel. Le programme éducation numérique en Côte d'Ivoire a mis en place des systèmes d'éducation numérique modernes dans plusieurs villes à travers le pays. Cependant, de nombreux étudiants et enseignants n'y ont pas encore eu accès. L'une des attentes étant d'améliorer la couverture de l'éducation numérique au profit de la population à l'avenir. La technologie numérique a une importance positive pour l'éducation. En tant qu'entreprise de technologie, Huawei espère apporter sa contribution dans les domaines des communications, des applications et de la numérisation pour aider la Côte d'Ivoire et les pays africains à développer l'éducation numérique afin que chaque enfant puisse bénéficier des technologies numériques. Laissez chacun participer au monde numérique.
Now, Huawei's Northern Africa Lucky Draw. We will announce 10 lucky winners. Congratulations to all the winners. Huawei Northern Africa team will reach out to you soon to claim your gift. Thank you very much for attending, and thank you to all the speakers today. Tomorrow, I will be with you in a new event and many surprises from Huawei. If you are interested in learning more about the solutions that our experts talked about today, please contact us through the following website e.huawei.com/ma. We will be happy to receive your requests and respond to them as soon as possible. Stay in touch and see you tomorrow.